It's quite difficult to describe a day as an international tax specialist at HMRC because what we do is so varied. But for example, I might start my day by doing a risk assessment where I look at a company's corporate tax return and I try to identify whether there's any particular areas of international tax risk that I think need to be looked at further. It might also be that I'm working on a case that I've been working on for quite some time, and I've got a meeting with the taxpayer and their agent, and we need to have a discussion around different tax issues and articulate HMRC's position so that we're able to work on those areas and find a mutual resolution. In addition to compliance work, there's also opportunities to get involved in upskilling colleagues, as well as sitting on our regional governance groups where you take more of an advisory role, and this is to ensure kind of consistency in HMRC's inquiry approach, and also gives me the opportunity to see HMRC's approach on other international tax areas that I myself haven't worked on directly.
I think when I started working on this role, the thing that sort of surprised me was there's just such a great range, such a great variety of issues you can work on and things you can do on a day-to-day basis. You've got great autonomy and great flexibility in terms of what issues you want to work on, what kind of areas of sort of deep specialism you want to go into. And I think that's great in terms of giving you kind of control of your, not just your day by day, but actually of your whole career. And I think that's a great thing and not something that I necessarily expected working in such a big organisation.
I think the biggest thing that surprised me when I joined was the sense of camaraderie here at HMRC. There's the sense that we're all in this together, that we have a strong sense of camaraderie, and I really appreciate that because it comes across in the way my colleagues treat me especially. I always feel comfortable going to a colleague and asking for help because I know that my colleagues are very generous with their time and their knowledge and that they will help me. The other thing that I was really surprised about when I joined HMRC is that amount of time and space that I'm given in order to work out or solve a particular problem. When I was in the audit environment, I felt that often I was under a lot of pressure to come up with a solution for a client. But here at HMRC, even although there are often statutory deadlines, I find that I'm given the time and the space to figure out and work out a tax technical issue. And I feel that the solutions that I come up with and my reasoning and the technical analysis is of a much better quality, something that I feel much more comfortable with.
So working in HMRC's mid-sized business, I've had the opportunity to work on inquiries across a range of sectors and covering taxpayers that range from mid-sized businesses to those that are part of very large groups but perhaps have a bit more of a limited UK presence. I've also had the opportunity to be involved in HMRC's profit diversion compliance facility. This facility is a kind of voluntary initiative where taxpayers and their agents undertake the risk assessment and then propose adjustments if necessary to HMRC. I found working on the PDCF initiative really interesting because it's more of a collaborative process where you work together with the taxpayers and their agents on the risk assessment and the proposals. As well as those things, at HMRC you've got the opportunity to input into live reforms that are being discussed. So for example, I've had the opportunity to feed into updates to the UK's transfer pricing legislation, and I've also had the opportunity to input into the international controlled transactions schedule that's currently under consultation.
I've been really fortunate that HMRC have funded me in sitting the Advanced Diploma in International Taxation or ADIT exams. I've also been lucky enough to, at the same time as sitting those exams, to be able to get involved in some of the most interesting and complex and challenging international tax and transfer pricing inquiries. Doing those two things together has really helped me to grow and develop, and it's really done a huge amount for me in my progression in my career.
There's a lot of internally generated training where someone would volunteer to help deliver a training session on a risk that they have seen recently or a case that they have experienced recently where they thought it would be interesting to share. It's been quite a positive working environment in HMRC. Everyone's so knowledgeable about their area of specialism, but yet so willing to help and explain when you have any questions. And it really fosters a great learning and growing environment.
For me, the main benefits of working for HMRC are that you are able to work on a wide range of complex international tax issues, and that means that kind of no 2 days are really the same. Also, at HMRC, you've got access to the kind of wide breadth of experience of all of our colleagues, and I found colleagues being kind of very friendly and very willing to give up their time to kind of help me work through issues that I haven't previously worked on before.
There's 2 benefits that's quite important to me working for HMRC. One is its defined benefit pension scheme, which is quite special. The second thing has to be its flexibility, which is great for work-life balance. I have a family with 2 young children, and the availability of flexi time means that I never need to miss out on important events and milestones in my children's lives.
You don't need to know everything from day one because no one does. What you need is you need to be into details. You need to be able to communicate clearly, and you need to be curious. So if you like to be around different people, if you like solving puzzles, and if you like continuously learning, this is the right place for you.